Thank you. Well, historically, voyage optimization has really been finding the sweet spot between the value of time and the value of bunkers, and thereby identifying the most ideal speed to proceed at, of course, including weather and safety. The introduction of regulatory initiatives is adding to that complexity, meaning that now, besides the value of time and value of bunkers, you will have additional factors to include into that equation. The issue in this respect is to put a monetary value to the value of these regulatories. And this is also to some extent why CII is maybe not having the desired effect, as we're seeing, or people are at least struggling a little bit to find their legs in how to value a certain CII rating compared to another. I think EU ETS is more tangible. That's basically a tax. So the more CO2 you emit, the more you pay. So, and that have had the effect that we're also seeing sort of a more burning platform for ship owners sort of to do initiatives and take initiatives in order to administer these additional regulatory factors when looking at voyage optimization. It's a very good question. Well, basically when looking at any forecast scenario, data is the place to start because correct data is essentially what will create correct fuel models. And the fuel model is essentially what will create a proper forecast scenario when it comes to voyage optimization. So really, in any forecast scenario, what you're trying to do is you're trying to eliminate as many uncertainties as you possibly can. So any forecast, obviously weather will always be a joker because you don't know, you cannot predict what the weather will be. You have very good models now, but they can always, stray sideways one way or the other. So, but if you don't know if the data you're using for your forecast, then it's extremely difficult to create a forecast model that will actually work for you. So that's why, in my opinion, whether you're talking about manual data or sensor data or any other data, that will be the place to start any optimization process. Yeah, well, that's the biggest question, I think. I think the shipping industry has proven historically an inability to self-regulate, meaning that when the market is really high, people are sailing fast, and then when the market is low, you're slow steaming. But that's from a monetary point of view. So obviously the idea behind these initiatives is to include additional pressure in order to have a monetary, benefit of slow steaming even in a high market. And I believe, I don't think anyone believes that CII or EU ETS will save the planet. But I do believe that we need to start a place. And it's a good start. It has, for many companies, created an awareness about the need for valid data and proper fuel models, and also to bring down their CO2 emissions. And I do believe that we are learning all the time. So these regulatory emission structures, they will be better and better, and they will be more and more focused on what specific trade are you looking at, what sort of specific vessel are you looking at. And I believe we're only learning right now. This is the first year CII is in effect, EU ETS coming next year, and many more initiatives will follow. So I do believe that this is the right step. Many other businesses, the flight industry, many others have had these initiatives for many years. Shipping has been a little behind in this, but I think it's good that we're starting, and I definitely think that it will benefit the emissions for the industry. I think it's a very interesting conference, bringing together many stakeholders. For one, it's obviously bringing forward a lot of, our competitors, but that's extremely interesting because I do believe that in today's world, we cannot sit and just insist on our own systems being the best. We need to collaborate. We need to be able to share data and collaborate data from many different stakeholders within the environment. So instead of just insisting on just looking at my data, I need to be able to integrate with other systems as well. So it's extremely valuable to come here and learn about other solutions. How can we utilize them in our solution in order to do even a better product for our clients, but also to get input from owners and charterers as to how they see the actual implementation and use of these systems, because that's really where it makes a big difference. One thing is sort of the theory behind it, but another thing is the practice. So very nice.